It was supposed to be a bounty contract week this week, but that event was bumped. Regardless, it'll be coming back in the next few weeks, and we wanted to remind ourselves of this awesome event. And ironically, in the last 370 episodes, we have not done an episode about the bounty contract week. Bounty contract is a difficult word to say. Would you agree? We'll talk about that and more on this episode of the Escape Podcast for Star Wars: The Old Republic. Our broadcast aspect today is EPC 371. And playing alongside me is Seema. Hi, Seema. How's it going?
Hi, Max. It's going pretty well. I did a thing today which is a famous Steam thing that many Steam users have done, which is I went down this black hole of looking at all the games that are out there, and I honestly had no idea how much there is out there in the world of gaming. Because I play 2 games, right? Or maybe a handful of games.
Sure.
But yeah, so that was pretty eye-opening. So Steam, SWTOR being on Steam is the connection there. That's why I was looking at Steam. But yeah, so this week I've been doing some conquests. I've been doing some leveling. I have so many assassins and shadows right now. I'm going to do some shadow culling here soon because nobody needs that many shadows. But I've also been messing with my gear a little bit on my leveling. I ripped all the mods out of. Like you, I have 2 sets of experience gear. So I had one set that had level 10 mods in it and one set that had level 70 mods in it.
Yeah.
And I would just play with the sort of level 10 one until a character got to 70. And then I realized that's really a long time. So I ripped out the level 70 ones and I put in some level 4. The reason they're in there is because they were like BIS mods from, back in the day.
Right.
But I put in like level 40, I think. So yeah, been doing that. So been running around on the imp side looking at heroics, and I started up my long-term project, which I abandoned for a while, of finishing off the rep for the space missions, the space missions on rails.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you've been doing that?
Yes, and by doing that I mean once a week.
Yeah, even so.
That's when you get 47,000 conquest points for rep.
Right.
And so I thought, why there's only a couple of reps that I don't have already, and one of them is the pub side IOCAF, because I already finished the imp side IOCAF. One of them is Onderon, which I don't know why I haven't done that, because that would be easy to do, but I can benefit from that. And then the last one is that Space Fleet, whatever it's called. And I hope there's not a pub version of that. But anyway.
Imperial First Mobile Fleet?
Yeah.
But that says Imperial on it. Is
there
Republic First Mobile Fleet?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't. Imperial Guard. Oh, well, this is my Imperial character. I probably have to be on a character to see it.
Yes.
Yes. I bet there is, too, yeah.
When we were doing Total Galactic War on the pub side, I went with my pub character on Osis and did a weekly. And that was enough rep so that I got beyond the weekly cap. And so she's got like a bunch of rep tokens in her inventory. So she can be one of my characters during the week that gets the 47,000.
Oh,
and
that's
then
a good
space
idea.
Mission person could be one person, and then somebody else can go and do on the Republic side one of the easy Osis dailies, and then somebody can do Andron daily, and that's like,
yeah.
What did I just say? 5 characters that have conquest already from just doing. This is what I'm about, doing the minimum. But
no, that's what I've been doing too. I'll explain.
Yeah, so I do want to also mention our ops night. Or do you want to be the one to say it?
No, go ahead, and then I'll just double down, because
okay,
because you know.
Because I mean,
I mean,
Um, I mean, right? So we went and killed Master
yeah,
Mode Nephra,
yeah.
tonight.
We're
Which,
nightmare. I mean,
yeah, we're not.
we're
Yeah,
nightmare progression raiders
right,
now. At the end of
right.
the day, we're nightmare progression raiders.
Yeah. So, what was the first boss week? We went and did.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
the
heroic Xeno.
yeah,
And we were like
Vetsino.
thinking, what should we do next? And we were thinking about doing the one on Zios, and we are thinking about doing veteran queen, and then Thon said, why don't we go do this, Nightmare Nephra? And I'm like, yeah, we used to do that back in the day. Just go in and kill Nephra,
What can I get for you?
Yeah,
and yeah. So that was really fun. I think we're going to put that in our rotation because there's a few mechanics, but once we got them down,
Come back
remembered
anytime.
them, and then got them down. Yeah, I think that could be a useful thing at the end of a night when we're done with something stressful. We can go kill Nephra,
yep,
Metro Nephra, and maybe even get something.
and get some good things.
Yeah,
So off of Nephra. Well, wait, are you done? Before I
I'm
break in
done.
and
How was your week, Max?
oh, thank you for asking. Uh, so in addition to killing Nephra, which took us a little bit of time, we had to remember it. We actually had to look up some of the mechanics of what are these stacks that are on me, and then why is the tank always dying? 45 seconds into the fight. Oh, there's a tank swap, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
But progression. We learned our steps. Learned how to share the nightmare breath cleave that she does at 15 stacks of yada yada, and learn to deal with the extra explodey droids that are coming out. Killed Nephra. Was a blast. 10 minutes before the end of the night, killed Nephra. It dropped one of those new materials that are in the game now for the highest end augments that are worth, we realized after the fact, about 30 million credits each. So that was quite valuable. And I have it up right here. We got the deco also, which is the Enslaved Underwalker deco, which is another of my favorite kind of decos. And I won the roll on, well, I won the roll on both of them and gave away the material to, well, it should have gone to Thon, but he's Trace Comas Club just like me, so he doesn't need the credit. So we went to the next person
I
down on the
mean,
list.
to be fair,
If,
not exactly just like you.
at the end of the day, well, he is a little bit more. Although that's the other thing I've been doing lately. Anyway, before I get to the 250 million credits I made this week, let me do the preview here. So this is one of the decos where it's the full size live version of the boss that just like stands there and has like an idle animation where it's breathing
Yeah,
and it's alive.
I envy.
It
I
is.
has envy.
So I have that now for Grobthok, and I have that for, well, I think everybody's got it for the Colossal Monolith, and I have it for the Alchemical Beast, which is Garge, and now I have it for Nephra. So I'm quite happy. This was totally worth it, and I would
Yeah.
give up that other material in a heartbeat, just to be able to get this. But now we can see potentially getting in there, as you said, put it in our rotation. We'll get this deco for everybody, and we'll get mats all around. Maybe we'll even start making some of those augments. Of course, I bet we would have to like kill Nephra like 500 weeks in a row in order to get enough to make one set of augments, but whatever. So that was fun. A couple other things I've been doing this week. Here, let me flip over to my full screen view so you guys can see. We had one of our officers, Gusty, make these for us. This is super cool. So now I have an AIE shirt that I'm wearing right now. Looks came out really well. It has to be you can get them more than two colors, but it gets really expensive. It like goes up by an order of magnitude. So we have a graphic artist to help us cut it to two colors, and it still came out really good with even just the two colors. So I'm quite pleased about that. Also this week, and we're going to do a whole podcast about this in the next few weeks, or maybe when it gets closer to the next Total Galactic War, when everybody wants to get a whole bunch of characters. I've still been using the GSF to push characters to Conquest. So I'll run about 5 or 6 GSF matches over the course of a week. And in just that 5 or 6 matches, I will get 6 characters to Conquest target in just that. Doing nothing else but 6 GSF matches. I have a technique, and this is what we'll go through in a show at some point, of how to fly adequately and win matches and do 30,000 damage, which will put you in the top the top 20% typically in damage. Not the highest. There are people who will do like 80 or 100,000 damage, but most people you'll stack up well and contribute quite a bit and fly well after only doing one match. So I'll talk about how to unlock the right ships and how to outfit them and what quest you turn in that gives you the right currency to unlock the right ships and the right abilities. So it's quite cool. And then the other thing I was doing a ton this week, because I got the bug of, hey, look, I haven't been crafting very much lately. I've been winning, doing a lot of conquest, getting the materials and opening a bunch of renown rank crates. I got a bunch of legendary embers sitting around. Let me craft some augments and put them on the market. Craft up some augments, put them on the market, and ooh, the prices are pretty good. Or these things are selling pretty good. Let me make up a couple more, and then I saw a batch of legendary embers went up on the market for about a 20% discount. And, oh, now I'm gonna buy those, and I've been cranking out augments, not at an industrial level, but quite a few over the course of the week, enough where I'm burning through like all of my scavenging mats and I'm running out. And I've been at the beginning of the day and at like 3 or 4 times a day logging in like the 6 characters that I have scavenging on and running 8 scavenging missions on all of those. And then on my 2 crafters that make I have 3 crafters that make augments, but I only make this is the way I do it, since I'm not making like 100 augments a day. I'm only making like 10. I only make the augments that are the most expensive, the most profitable of the day. So some days that might be my mercenary, who's my armor mech, who needs to make it makes absorb and alacrity. What does he make? He makes I think absorb and alacrity, and then the gunslinger makes absorb and alacrity on the armor mech, and then my arms tech, which is my gunslinger, makes accuracy and versatility, and then my 4C crafter thing, I forgot. Oh no, I guess it's Synthweaver. Yeah, no, it's on the Synthweaver that makes the crit. And then I never bother making shield, and no one should ever make the defense ones. But I'll only make the one that day that's the most profitable. And I've had to switch around, but it has pushed me to where I'm down to about 700 of the green and purple scavenging mats, for example. That's why I'm logging in all my scavengers constantly. And as a result, made about 250 million credits in the last week. So there's that. I don't know why. Although the only thing to buy that now, because I know Medulla not scammed, but he got for 20% of the price of what it should have been. He picked up a Zerka Crate-O-Matic off the GTN about a couple months ago. So that's the only thing I check every day on the GTN. Can I get a cheap price on a Zerka Crate-O-Matic? Current prices are between 900 million and 1 billion credits. So the answer is no. But I do check it. And why would I bother to even make any more credits ever? Well, get another 1 billion credits and maybe someday I'll have a Zerka Crate-O-Matic. The day after I actually buy a Zerka Crate-O-Matic for 1 billion credits, there'll be a promotion on the cartel market where everybody can get one for free. So you'll have to thank me then.
I mean, why do you want that?
It's the rarest thing in the game. I don't
Well,
know.
I mean, would you put it next to your stack of
Yeah, I probably wouldn't
old
even click on it. I'd probably just like leave it in my inventory somewhere and look at
next
it.
to your stack of old teeth or whatever it is you have?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. My lucky coins.
So here
My
so
legacy
I don't
storage.
know if it still works this way, but, if you click on it, you get an achievement,
Yeah.
but
So I would click on it for the achievement. That's the main thing.
what I was gonna say is it used to be you could click on it and hand it to somebody else, and they could click on it, and you just keep sharing it with all your friends, and they would get the achievement.
If it still works that way, I would do that too. So
Yeah.
that I would be fine with that.
Well, I mean, then you would have no reason not to click on it. But, yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, I've ran into that early on, so I have the achievement, so I have no
Oh,
Cradomatic desire. Other than, I guess if you got it for cheap, then, like, selling it, but I don't really enjoy selling things that take a long time to sell.
and I have things. I was looking on my bank alt. I have things I could put on the market and make 30 million credits off of.
Mhm.
I've got like black dies. I've got Darth Malgus hollow statue. But I don't wanna. I mean, I could,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
I don't need the credits for one. It's only 30 million credits. And for two, maybe I'll, what I do with those from time to time is I'll give them to somebody
I'm pretty sure I made 250 million credits this week too, but I
I think
didn't
people would be interested. Yeah, on.
on encryptions,
Hmm.
and invasion forces, and on legendary embers.
So again, all those things that we keep collecting because of conquest, check your check your materials inventory. Those could be stacking up. You could have a huge stack of encryptions and stuff in there, and solid resource matrices and process isotope stabilizers. And don't forget those things. And if you're looking for some credits, especially before they become obsolete and worthless, unload them. They're useful.
Yeah, and it's much way better than doing a bunch of making a bunch of like augments.
Well, I turn it. I I like
Uh-huh.
double the profit margin in actually crafting them into augments is why I do that.
I
So there's that.
know, but it's a lot of effort, and we made the same amount of credits.
Well, over the past 2 weeks, I've made about 500 million, but that's a different question, different story. So, do you
So,
want to compare? Do you want to have a little contest over the next week? Should we?
yes, I want to compare your total credits to Thon's total credits.
There you go. It's just tearing me down. At the end of the day, I'm still at Trace Comos. They have a lot of credits. Thon, stupid Thon. All right, time to talk about the news.
Now, an Imperial News Network report.
First up in the news, there's a bug, and it's not the bug that makes all Thon's credits go away. So I don't really care what it is. Not much in the news this week. Bug Tracker has a couple things in there. If you were there was a bug, and I'm not sure if it's fixed yet, but buying things for tech frags that aren't equipable by your class caused a problem, and they're gonna fix it, I think, in the patch. So it's probably not fixed just yet. So if you get an opportunity to like buy something off of one of the vendors for a Sork and you're a merc, it'll charge you the tech frags and you won't get the item. Don't do that.
Oh,
So keep
okay.
an eye on
Yeah.
out for that. That's a key bug. The chat room is asking when will 6.2.1 be released. Seema,
Yeah.
tell us about the
So
delays.
Yeah, so speaking of the patch, it was supposed to come out a week ago Tuesday, but it was delayed by the calamitous weather in Texas, and we don't really have a date yet. Um, so yeah, we don't know, but they're gonna tell us when they know,
Yes.
and they the it was more than a power outage. It was like people without food, without water, um, without heat. Without communications
Yeah.
because, cell tower's not working, so it's it, we're just my yeah. Stay warm, stay safe. We'll still be here when you get back to work, BioWare.
Right. It was a bad time, and there's still a bunch of people recovering burst pipes. So even after it was all over, and now things are thawing out, and I think Austin had a day in the upper 70s.
Yeah.
But all the pipes burst when they were frozen, so it's been rough. And yeah, hopefully everybody's staying safe and has what they need and has fresh water and that kind of thing while they're getting things back on board. And we'll get the patch, we'll get the update when we get it, and I'm fine with that.
So let's see. Continuing on newsy stuff in the community and guild news. I'll just say we have Mega coming up on March 12th. Max, remind me what that was going to be. Are we going to do?
I think it may be PvP related for the first
Oh, that's right.
hour or
That's right.
so.
That was why I tuned out
Yes.
in our meeting. I'm like thinking, oh well, I
Oh,
have to watch my
Seema
hair
just
that night.
remembered. What did you have to do? Wash your llama?
Yeah, to watch my llama that night.
So
I wish
yeah.
I had a llama. Um, so um, so that's on the 12th. But other Fridays will either be the achievement group or the flashpoint group. So, and the flashpoint group is doing master mode flashpoints if you're interested in those. They're doing it for the purposes of completing the mission that gives you the speeder, but you don't have to be on that. You don't have to be on that quest to join.
Right. I believe our achievement group is running tomorrow night, and if you're listening to this recorded, then it would be tonight or last night, depending on when I get the podcast out.
Or 2 nights ago, or depending on when you're listening.
Or yeah, depending on when you're listening. I think they're doing an achievement run tomorrow night of a few different things. Some killing some champions in a couple places, and maybe some something else. But they'll post that in Discord, so keep an eye out for that too. Other things in the community that are coming up.
Yep,
Yeah, you want to do that? Oh, sorry, that was under yours. Stealing your thunder.
last but not least, in my little group, Working Class Nerds, our other podcast in the guild, is coming up on their 100th episode, and that's going to be on the 11th of March. And Max and I are going to drop in on that one.
Yes, we will be there for our pals. We got their back. 100 episodes is quite the achievement, so that is pretty cool. Shout out to those guys, and we'll be there on the 11th. That'll be fun.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Also in community news, a regular in the chat room. I'm not sure if Sir Galahard is in there tonight, but Sir Galahard has a YouTube channel. Has been putting some new Star Wars content out on there. There's a post up right now on how to easily make millions of credits as a new player in 2021. So check out that on search for Sir Galahard as the channel, and you will get to check that out and benefit from making millions of credits. It's a good topic because it's easy to make, and I almost wanted to do some write-ups or do these kinds of posts in a lot of MMOs. It's often very easy when you've tuned all of your characters. You're a veteran player. You've got a bunch of characters to level cap. You've got a bunch of alts. That's one mechanism where there's a way to make credits or gold or whatever in that game using that kind of set of resources. When you're a new player, it's a different rule set and it's a different process. And there are ways in most MMOs as a new player to go off and make the kind of funds you would need, especially seed funds to get started, but it's different. So Sir Galahard's post, good one to go check on how to make credits as a new player, which I think is a good topic. All right. Lost my notes. Where are we at? Oh yeah. Shout out to the chat room. Thank you, everybody.
Which one of your many monitors are the notes up on?
I have many, and they're growing. So I have 5 in front of me right now, although one is off, and soon it will be 6 because I've got some new equipment for some work stuff. will have 6 in front of me. But I'd rather have a monitor in front of me than a frontal lobotomy or whatever the phrase might be. Shout out to the chat room. Thanks everybody for being in there and helping us out and showing up and week after week. And thanks for jumping in there and showing up even when I go live accidentally and it's not a podcast. And I was testing some stuff for work and talking about the regulatory, the regulated commercial banking market and how open banking has had an impact in the UK. So unfortunately, I deleted that VOD off of my Twitch stream. DM me if you'd like more notes on open banking and digital innovation and how it creates new experiences for both the workplace and the customer. That's my day job. Now, that aside, I think we can talk about what we're gathered here today to talk about, which is
bounty hunting is a complicated profession. Would you agree?
Oh, Werner Herzog, you're the best. I would agree. Seema, would you agree?
Yes, I would agree.
I would agree also. And I was looking back, we were thinking, hey, it's Gree Week. We always have fun with Gree Week. Maybe we should do another Gree Week podcast. We've actually done one, at least one, if not 2 in the past. The last one was about 22 months ago. So it's almost 2 years. We could have done it again. But then I thought this week was supposed to be Bounty Contract Week. It was pushed off. It'll probably come up next week or the week after. They're going to try to rotate it back in. And it's an event that I've really been ignoring for a couple of years.
Yeah, me too.
We've done it to 100%. We've gotten all the achievements. We've gotten most of the rewards that we want, but not all. There's other rewards I could buy, and now I've been looking and thinking about it.
Because they added decos.
They've added some things. So we're going to go through everything about Bounty Contract Week: the what, when, where, who, how, and why. And that's how I sort of wrote it up. I thought I was clever when I started writing up the notes and figured I could break it into those categories. So you want to
dodge, duck, dive,
dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. So, Bounty Contract Week. What is Bounty Contract Week, and when does it show up? Seema, why don't you kick us off?
So it's a periodic event similar to Gree and Rakghoul, and now Pirate Incursion and Swoop Races. You just have to be level 15 to play. You don't have to be a bounty hunter. And it starts off where we are right now in the Cartel Bazaar.
Right. During the Bounty Contract Week, right down. And the vendors are always up in the Cartel Bazaar, so it's a fine place to come check it out anytime. But right down as you come into the Cartel Bazaar, right on the right is the platform where the vendors are, and there's a hut up there who's called the Hut Bounty Broker. But right below that platform, you'll see something really cool. It's actually a bounty board. And during the Bounty Contract Week, there'll be a console here, which is where you come to pick up the contracts. This board though is pretty cool looking. I think it's just a cool thing. In fact, I wonder, can you get this as a decoration? This is just a cool board, isn't it? It's like a listing of bounties and the price, the credits and just the art on this sort of bounty board is kind of cool. It's really well done. Oh, look, there's the Swoop Racer vendors. Oh, good to know. They're here.
Yeah.
I did not know that. And I have Swoop Racing tokens burning a hole in my credit inventory, I noticed. I'm at
You should
cap.
buy you should buy tacticals because you can equip them on your low level characters.
Oh, right. The fancy ones.
Yeah.
Like the Flourish and although I don't have the rep for all of them yet. That's my problem.
Oh, that is your problem.
Like the Dismount Flourish requires legend standing with blatant backs.
And there's the one that makes your speeder go fast for a few seconds. You just, if you have
See,
also the you can mount while running, you can just go mount, 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 and be
mount,
super
mount,
fast
mount,
all the
mount.
time.
Anytime I hear something like that, there's an old webcomic called The Noob, and it's about MMOs, and it's about like it's like a Dungeons and Dragons MMO, and they're the character. It's just a old webcomic, not even very well drawn, but clever webcomic. So this is about 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 years ago. There was one of the webcomics that was somebody, like an experienced player was telling the new player, hey, there's this new glitch in the game where if you grab your butt while you run and hop the whole time, you go faster. And the next frame, the noob's like, oh, that is so stupid and ridiculous. No one would ever do that. And then there's like the final frame is like the elite dudes guild, and they're all like grabbing their butts and like running. So here, if you want to equip the tactical and grab your butt while you mount and dismount your speeders so you can go 2% faster, you can do that. So there you go.
Yes, you can.
Uh,
It's fun.
Anyway, that's the what and the when. We hope it will be coming back next week or the week after. If not, it's sort of in that 6-week event rotation, which is pretty cool. And the where, yes, it starts at the Cartel Bazaar. It'll be down here is where you'll pick it up. And there's an intro cinematic. If you've never done it before, you can sort of go through that. What'll happen though is you'll pick up a bounty contract for a particular planet. And I forgot to look up all the planets that they have you go to, but you'll be going after either a henchman or a kingpin on a planet somewhere. So you do need to travel. And that's some of the fun. You'll be traveling around to go track down, and it is a little bit of a process to track down these bounty contracts. On the who, what are the 2 kinds of contracts, Seema? This is a quiz. I guess I'm testing you. Seema,
So
what are the 2 kinds of contracts? You are
so
correct.
oh my God. Once a day you can do a henchman, and
Mhm.
once a week you can do a kingpin.
Yes.
Are undergeared, which you might be if you don't have mods and stuff in your gear and you're leveling, you might want to bring a friend when you do a kingpin.
Yes. Kingpins are a little bit harder, a little bit more serious. The henchmen you're doing once a day per character. You can log in a bunch of other characters, so don't
Right.
hesitate to do that.
Yeah.
You need to do some of the henchmen in order to unlock the kingpins as well, because you'll be using the bounty contract currency to unlock the kingpins. If you're planning on getting all the achievements, and or getting lots of the currency, it's worth it to upfront spend the time to unlock the kingpins. The kingpins, you can only pick up one bounty contract from a planet. So if you want both the kingpin and the henchman off of a particular planet, like Voss, you can't do them both on the same day. So keep that in mind when you're trying to plan out what you're going to do for the week. Otherwise, do a henchman a day, do a kingpin once a week, and you'll be getting a bunch of rep, and you'll be getting a bunch of stuff. We'll get to that about the why, which is the rewards. But let's go through on the how and the walkthrough. And a shout out here before we do that. There's a couple people that have some really good guides. A few people. I like Fibro Jedi. So Fibro Jedi has been doing some SWTOR content. He's not doing a lot lately anymore, but this guide is only about 8 months old. Or no, it's almost a year old, I guess now. 10 months. He's got a great bounty contract week guide. If you play Lord of the Rings, he's still doing guides for Lord of the Rings. Does great guides. Just really well laid out, really, really well described bits and pieces of the various events. So that's a good
they're
one.
fun. They're fun.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a good writer and does them well and does more than just pasting in a picture. And then also beautiful guides as always, including videos. SWTORista, she's got a bounty contract event guide as well. So we used that to remind ourselves of some of this stuff, and then we came down here and looked at the vendors and looked at all of our achievements and that kind of thing to put these notes together. But yeah, so here's Fiber Jedi's, and he goes through. He does a nice breakdown of the what did I categorize it as? The how. How do you hunt these bounties? And so I'll mention a couple things, Seema, but I'm gonna ask you too if you did how you went about doing yours, because I sort of did it the
Sure.
cheater way. You start out, you go pick up the bounty contract. You need to go talk to Fiber Jedi reminds you while you're here in the cartel bazaar, you can stock up on supplies, and there'll be a vendor here next to the console where you pick up the contract, where you can buy the quote unquote supplies. There's two kinds of supplies that you could be buying, especially if you want dark side points or light side points as you're progressing through and bothering to go and do the bounty contracts. I'm capped on dark or light on any character that I want to, so I don't really care. I typically don't even bother to buy them. Although, now that I think about it, I think if you buy the drinks in particular, that you may be able to finish that part of the
Yeah.
bounty contract quest quicker.
Yeah, I always buy them
Okay. So there's
for
two
that
things you
reason.
can buy. One is the interrogation probe if you're dark side and you want to torture your victims into giving up the goods on where these henchmen are, or the friendly drink, which I'm kind of down with buying. Hey, will there be a cantina?
Yeah, it increases your chances. You'll still come across a few that don't wanna talk to you or that wanna fight you, but yeah.
Fight me, bro. Do you even force lift? Uh, so pick up the interrogation probes or friendly drinks. You're going to be talking to probably at least four of the uh, of the shady characters, but you'll probably need a little bit more than that because some of them won't give up the goods after you use those items.
So one thing I do with the shady characters too is I make sure that I have friendly NPC or friendly NPC nameplates on. It makes them so much easier to find.
Good point. And that goes for lots of different events and missions and quests that you go after. Turning on friendly nameplates, helping to find those NPCs that you need to go after helps a ton.
Because I know we started out by saying we haven't been doing a lot in this, but I have kept my hand in because I do it when it coincides with Conquest.
Conquest. Well, there you
So I
go.
have been doing I've been doing, a henchman
Hmm.
uh quest. I haven't done a lot of the kingpins lately, but yeah.
So the way
So
the
shady characters.
yeah, first you talk to the client, you get the contract. Then you go to the planet. Then you talk to the client. So remember, this is a bounty contract that a client is purchasing, is putting out there, those pucks that the Mandalorian carries around. There's
Yep.
people that are putting those contracts out. You talk to the client. You talk to the client, they say, go and do. And then the next thing, so all of them sort of work the same way, but each client is different depending on what planets to go to. They say go talk to these shady characters and get some info that's going to lead you to the snitch who's going to out the henchman's location for you. The shady characters, then you find and you'll see where you go on the planet. It just says go to this area and you talk to the shady characters. This is where you get to either light side, offer them a friendly drink. Neutral, you just click on them and say, have you seen this? Have you seen this man? Are you Sarah Connor or whatever you want question you need to ask them? Or dark side, you torture them with an interrogation probe. Once you do that, any one of those three things, then one of three things happen as the outcome. Either they say, "Oh, thanks for the drink, bud. I will give you the information," which is a token, and you're trying to get four of those. Or it will fail, and they will say, "No way, I'm not talking to you," and you can't do anything. Then you just have to go find another shady character. Or they get a little miffed because maybe you tortured them or something, or the drink was bad, it didn't have an umbrella in it, and they attack you. If they attack you, You fight them and you kill them, and that you'll usually get and loot another one of the information items if they attack you. So them
Yeah.
attacking you is good, or them just giving you the information thing is good.
Yeah,
So
don't forget to loot them. Don't be a max.
and not loot anything.
Right.
I keep meaning to take pictures, especially when we're doing our rampages. I love doing the rampages and not looting. And then it's just a forest
Yeah.
of blue
It's a
beams
fort.
all
Yeah.
over,
Yeah.
all over the place. So yeah, then you get your four information tokens, and that will then progress you to the next step where you go talk to the snitch, who is going to give you it's just a conversation at that point to progress you then to go and hunting down the hunchman or the kingpin. At that point, you still have an option there when you talk to them, a conversation option for force alignment, light side, neutral, or dark side, so you can do what you want. Once you talk to the snitch, it does complete like the first half of the bounty contract mission, and you get regular little mission completion rewards. You get a rep token, you get a little bit of credits, you get a little bit of XP or renown, and you get force alignment if you picked one of the dark side, light side choices. Not a big deal. Then you get the location to take down the target. So do you have any tricks or tips or tricks as you go after the henchmen versus the kingpins, Seema, in fighting them? You just go and fight them.
No, the
Here.
biggest, challenge is just finding them, and it's not even that big of a challenge because they're marked on the map. But yeah,
So you hunt
the
them
I guess
down and you fight them.
the biggest actually, I'll change that. The biggest challenge is if you wanna capture them, because you have to get them down to something really low. I think it's even 10% health, so you have to
It
be
says
a
20.
little
Fibro's guide says 20, but still.
oh, that's probably right then. But you have to micromanage a little. You might have to pull your companion back if you actually wanna capture.
Right. Because once it needs to get to 20% or below, and then you click you got a little mission item next to the mission to freeze them in carbonite. Oh, did I not do the right? Oh, no, I saved it for here.
I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold.
Nice.
In this case, you're bringing them in cold or you're bringing them in colder. There's no
Yeah,
option
that's right. There's
bring
no
them in
warm.
to bring them in warm. So you're either killing them or you're freezing them in carbonite. I loved freezing them in carbonite. If you're doing the achievements, so look at the achievements here. I am 100% on this event. It's the only event I'm at 100% on. You will need to do both to each henchman and each kingpin. You will need to do warm and cold and colder for each of the henchmen and each of the kingpins. So keep that in mind. Bring them all, kill them all, collect all the bounties, freeze them all in carbonite, capture them all alive, etc. So pick which ones you want to do, pick when you want to do it. You will need a little bit of coordination. Again, you can do this across multiple characters though. So besides the rep, which would be capped for your legacy for a week, you could do, if you've got enough characters, almost all of the kill capture stuff in just one, maybe two of the rounds of the event. I like when you capture them because they are sort of in the carbonite, the carbonite thing, and they follow you as you bring them back to the point where you talk to the client, because then you need to report back to the client. So you're on the planet there. You talk to the shady characters. You track down the henchman of the kingpin. You took the bounty or you killed him. You need to report back to the client. Don't leave. Don't immediately go back to the fleet, because you have to go back to the client and complete your contract with the client. Then you go back to the fleet and turn in the proof and claim and complete it at the console. Then you're done. And then that brings us to the why. Why would we do this, Seema? And you brought up another one that I didn't even have on the list, which is for conquest. But why do we
Mhm.
do this? Why do we do the things we do, Seema?
Yeah, that I'm always asking that. But yeah, I also want to say when you go out, like what we described as the shady characters and everything, that's for the henchmen. When you do the kingpin, then there's no shady characters, but there's another process that you have to use to narrow in on the kingpin, which has to do with a uh,
Oh, okay.
macro binocular that they give you. You don't have to have your own. You don't have to have done um, that opener on Make B or anything. But yeah, so it's a little bit different. So you have to go and scan and find the droid and the probe and do that thing, and then bring your friend.
I remember that. You have to there's like three. You have to triangulate their location, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so reasons for doing it are decos. So I mean, reputation, right? So like reputation is a conquest target, but reputation you may just want because you have to get the things that you can buy are gated by reputation or levels of reputation. And for getting the currency, you need to buy those things, which is the completed bounty contract. And then there's achievements, and with those achievements come titles also, and then the
See
vendor
anything
items
you
that you can
like?
buy.
Just let me know.
Is this Kowakian monkey lizard frozen in carbonite one of the things that came from here? Where did this come from? No, I don't see it here.
There is a Kowakian monkey lizard on one of these vendors I noticed today,
Come back
but
anytime.
I think it's this guy, Specialty Goods.
Ambassador
Yep.
Jirik.
You won't find a
But
better
I don't think it
bargain.
was frozen. No, it's not him. He's just got
There's
gear. Boring.
an
Come back
infected monkey
anytime.
lizard on Jilvik, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that might be what I'm thinking of. But I thought it was one of the ones that had the mixed
Plague
price.
tail monkey lizard. But this, I forgot where I got this carbonite frozen Kowakian monkey lizard pet that I've got following me around here, which is awesome and hilarious and awesome. So yes, I like the things frozen in carbonite. Of the rewards and the rep vendors for the bounty contract week are always here, so you can come and check them out anytime and come and see what's available. They're always up and they're always available. There's awesome stuff on these vendors.
Here's what I got. Look quick if you want.
So
Yeah,
there
in
is.
fact, if you ever log in one day and you're thinking, oh, I don't know what I feel like doing, just go to the Cartel Bazaar and start looking at vendors, and you'll start getting ideas.
Right, and it's great stuff. So there's a couple armor sets. There's I forgot about these. There's dyes. So if you are a crafter, and what do you got to be? Is this artifice to make the dyes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, artifice 500. You can do white and medium pink. I think Delphi's guide has a picture of the dyes even, and the deep brown, deep red dye module. So you can get a couple dye schematics that you can't find anywhere else off of these vendors. Two cool armor sets, but this is the guy that I really like.
Everything you see is for sale.
So this vendor, I guess that sounded sort of feminine. Didn't mean to assume this NPC's gender there. Sorry, ma'am. Bowcasters, look at this. This is one of the few places in the game that you can actually get a bowcaster. Now, it counts as a rifle, so only rifle-wielding characters can use it, unfortunately. I totally want... This is like, is it Diablo? I forgot what the character is in Diablo, Assassin or something, that can like dual wield the little crossbows. I want dual wield mini bowcasters for my bounty hunter. Please, BioWare, give me mini bowcasters for my bounty hunter. I've asked for that.
I mean, at the end of the day, it seems obvious that they will do that.
When push comes to shove, I think we're aligned on. I think we would synergize this idea, right?
Yes.
Tune into the pre-show and post-show if you want to find out why we're saying these ridiculous things. Anyway, mini bowcasters, do them. What else did you call? You called out a couple things on these vendors.
Well, Decos. That's the main thing. I was
Yes.
surprised when I came down here earlier today that there's stuff on the bounty contract vendors that I don't have. And I started off just buying them all, right? Click, 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 click. And I thought, wait a minute. How many bounty contracts do I actually have? So I have to be more careful because I was, might not be able to buy all of them yet. I might have to do some bounty contracts here coming up soon. But I also wanted to say, we mentioned achievements and titles, but the titles are pretty cool because one title. Oh, and there's also cartel coins that you get for the achievements.
Ah, right.
The titles are Wanted, Dead or Alive. There's a special one
That's a good
called
one.
Cartel Security, which you get for finding the sniper that's up in the beams. And
Oh,
then the
right.
last one that you get this is the one that you get for unlocking everything, is called Deathmark in 7 systems.
That's a good one too. We did a podcast. You'd have to look it up. I forgot what number it is. Maybe in the last 6 months or a year.
Forgot.
It was all about the cartel bazaar. We showed where all of the vendors are for all of the different events, and we climbed up in the rafters to that sniper up in the
Yeah.
rafters. So
Yeah.
if you want to see that, look up that show, and we show jumping up into the rafters. And I made one mistake. Most of the bowcasters are rifle, some are sniper rifle. So if you're a sniper, you can also use a couple of these. So here's a blaster rifle. Here's a sniper rifle version of Elite Assassin's Bowcaster. Oh, it looks kind of
And
cool.
then
It's not my
Zen-
favorite bowcaster in the game, but it's a good bowcaster.
Zen pointed out that to have fun is also a reason for doing the bounty hunter.
What? Impossible. Frosted Raptor. Look at this little guy. That looks pretty good. Clever girl.
Show him the speeder with the bandolier.
Oh, that is a good speeder. Yeah, now I don't know why I don't have that speeder and I want it. Why every time
Because you previewed a speeder, so
No, but every time I'm clicking on it the wrong. No, every time I click on one of these things to preview it, it was like picking it up like I'm buying it. Okay, where's the one with the bandolier? Now it's working. It was because it was behind it was overlapping and behind. Yeah, this is a nice speeder. Do I have this one? Which one is this called? BH7X. Let me check if I've got it. Because then I will mount up on it. Yeah, that is a nice speeder. No, I don't. The heck do you mean? Oh wait, that's pets. There's no speeders there.
I don't have any speeder.
How can I ride this tiny underlurker beast? No, it doesn't. Doesn't look like I've got it. It is kind of cool though. It's got good flame, good jets coming out the back. It's set up. It's got the bandolier on it, and it's set up with sort of like cargo pockets on it, because you got to have all your equipment with you when you're hunting bounties. That is nice.
And I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea, but there's a couple of vendors here who sell items that require the currency from 3 different events.
Right. So
your bounty contracts will be good here too. And also I noticed today, I don't know if this has always been the case, but you do not have to have these in your inventory. Wait, are they all currency now? Like Rack Gold DNA canister? I thought that was still an item.
I thought some were. Most are all currency. No, yeah, Rack Gold DNA canisters are currency now.
Oh, well, that's why. But
so
yeah,
bounty contracts used to be items, and you used to be able to sell them on the GTN, which I kind of regret that you can't do that anymore because that seems like a bounty kind of thing to do. Anyway, they've all become currency that go into your currency tab. If you still have any that are sitting in your legacy storage or something, if you mail them around to another character, they'll end up in your currency tab. So that's a way to sort of collect them up there.
I kind of wish they would make them all currency though, because I I don't know where mine are all the time. Like, I've tried to put them all in legacy storage, but I don't know if I actually found them all.
There are a couple things that are still not currency, especially out of the Rakghoul event. You'll get
Mm-hmm.
like the barnacles that are still not currency, but are they're currency, but they're not in the currency tab, or the
And the
plague.
barnacles are not even bind to legacy.
Right, right. Yeah, some are bind to character, some are not bound. There's just weird stuff that's sort of still around. But the bounty contract, the bounty, the completed bounty contracts are a currency that goes in your currency tab. This deco I know I do have, which is the drink probe. This is one drink probe, and there's another drink probe that you get from the hut, the new hut event. You got to get all the drink probes, drink server probes. Oh, which reminds me, in Elder Scrolls, I got a drink server person that's deco today. It was a login reward that I got for logging in 20 times
Well,
this month.
if you want to get meta about it, this vendor right here, Ambassador Jirik,
Mm-hmm.
sells Ambassador Jirik.
At
Come back anytime.
sells themselves as an opportunity to come join your
What can I
stronghold.
get
That
for you?
is interesting. Yes. Oh, and the Chevin representative.
Yeah.
Oh, that is interesting
Come back
too.
anytime.
So the Chevin event was the precursor to the Gree event. So the Chevin,
Won't find a better bargain.
this Chevin representative, the Chevin scavenger hunt is an old school. That was like 7 years ago. Before the Gree came, there was like a 4-week long different things happening each week with these guys, these Chevin guys, talking about the return of the Gree. Anyway, we're way off track.
Come back
A
anytime.
lot of cool stuff on this vendor. I thought there was
You see
something else I
anything you
wanted
like?
to
Just let me
mention.
know.
This HK customization is really cool. Desert Sleen, a bunch of cool decos. I think that's everything. Oh, the Carbonite. That's what I want to remember. You can get some really cool, and I have these in my Yavin Stronghold. I made a room that's all about my bounty hunter. It's a bounty hunter command center, and it's got I think it's got a bounty board of some kind. I don't know if it's got the board down there. Although Force Chuckle or somebody said you can get that bounty board. Regardless, I do have these Carbonite decos. So you can get the Kingpin Carbonite deco, the Rogue Carbonite deco, and the Smuggler Carbonite deco, which is very reminiscent of our other favorite Scoundrel that you remember, Frozen in Carbonite. You can get those 3 of the individuals, and then you can get this one, which is very cool, which is just a stack of them. So it's a stack of 3 with a 4th one leaning on top of them. Very cool for all of you bounty hunters out there. We didn't make it clear, both of the guides do. You don't have to be a bounty hunter to do the bounty contract event. It's an
I said
opportunity
that.
for. Oh, you did? Oh,
Yes.
I heard that, Seema. I was just repeating it so people didn't forget. I pay attention to what you say. What now?
So,
Many cool things.
I mean,
I mean, you know what I mean. I mean, you do not, Max. Pay attention. So yes, this was quite a cool event, and I forgot about it, and now I've remembered, and now I might do a couple more bounty contracts when it comes back next week or the week after.
Come back anytime.
come back anytime, she says.
Come back anytime. I'm eyeballing these Gree because it was the Gree week this week, and these Gree models are not canon, by the way. These Gree have too many tentacles. This is not what a Gree is
I
supposed
did
to
not
look
know
like.
that.
A Gree are hexapods, and these Gree have 10. They have 10 tentacles on them. And even if you ignore these 2 that are vestigial potentially, because there's these little
Yeah.
ones. It's still
Yeah.
8, and it's not supposed to be that. In fact, it's supposed to be only 2 on the ground, and then 4, which are arms. 2 are fine control, and 2 are like gripping arms. There's a reference there. What is that? Mote in God's Eye. Jerry Purnell. Anyway, on the gripping
And
hand.
Larry Niven.
And Larry Niven. So there's like 2 on the ground for moving them around, 2 big arms for gripping things, and 2 small arms for manipulating things. Anyway, we're not talking about Gree this week, but we will probably at some point. I did a whole here's the history of what we know about the Gree in our MFN on Tuesday. That's why you need to come to Alea Iacta Est, join our guild, and come to our mandatory fun nights, because as Seema says, even if you don't want to do the things we're doing, at a minimum, you'll get story time with Max, because that's
That's
thing
right.
that happens. Anything else before we wrap up on the bounty contract? Bounty hunting
Well,
is a complicated
this is kind
profession.
of non sequitur, but we did want to say next week we're going to be talking about the book.
Yes, thank you for that reminder.
Since you brought up books, yeah, that's what reminded me.
I forgot.
So
And
if you're
now I
asking
even
yourself
forgot what the name of the book is.
if you're asking it, yeah, it's the
Light of the Jedi,
the Hive of the Jedi Queen
the
Light.
High Republic, Light of the Jedi, yeah, Light of the Jedi, the High Republic. Remember, this month is our book club, first book club month for the SWTOR Escape podcast. Star Wars Light of the Jedi is the book that we're going through this month. It's 13 hours and 35 minutes on Audible, or it's a relatively easy read. We will be talking about it next week. Yes. So if you're not done with it, wrap it up. We're going to spoilery deep dive into Star Wars Light of the Jedi and the High Republic, and what we think this is going to do to introduce the High Republic in detail for us. We talked about the author and the details behind the book and what they're doing with the whole body of media around Light of the Republic, or the High Republic, at the beginning of the month, or the last week in January, whichever one that was. We're going to spoil the story next week. Cool. Thank you, Seema. That was a good call. And then who knows? Maybe next month we will pick another book. Maybe it might be Star Wars Thrawn, because I have that book sitting on my shelf, ready to go.
I mean, if anyone has an opinion.
Yeah, we could do Into the Dark. We could do Test of Courage, which is, I think, the young adult one. Or we could do, I have the Ahsoka book downstairs too. I would say vote. We'll call for a vote next week. Or maybe during the week. Maybe we'll put it out on Twitter and Discord and do a vote.
We may call for a vote, but the vote won't decide it.
No, to be clear. Thank you for that clarification, Seema. We will look at your vote in interest, and then Seema will decide what
Right.
we will be doing next. And it may or may not have any bearing on or have any relationship with the vote. I would like either Thrawn or Ahsoka, but it could be another one of these High Republic books. We'll see. All right. With that, I think we can wrap it up, and our EPC 371 droid is ready to get kicked out an airlock to broadcast this 371st episode of this podcast to all of you. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for being here live in the chat room at twitch.tv/New Overlords, or watching on YouTube/New Overlords, or at newoverlords.com. Check any of those places, subscribe, like, do all of those things. This just helps us know where people are watching and make sure we focus content in that direction, so that's useful. If you know any people that should be playing the game with us, though, that's why we do this podcast, please tell them to come find us at aie-guild.org. Alea Iacta Est is our gaming community. We do lots of things in all of the games. We have a bunch of people that are starting up in Valheim this week. I'm probably going to be in there a little bit this weekend. I will probably be checking in on our ESO fun night tomorrow night, in between our SWTOR achievement night. I'll probably be doing a little bit in World of Warcraft on our Saturday night, along with Saturday night Lord of the Rings online. Ton of stuff going on across all of our divisions. AIE-guild.org. Link in the upper right to get to our guild Discord. Jump in there. Star Wars, Starforge, both the Republic and the Imperial side. I think I've said all of the possible things I can say about wrapping up the podcast. So with that, we will talk to you soon.
I mean, later, everyone.
So